What's up, guys? This is B from Team BZ1. I'm showing you updated scrap deck. Um, I like to call it my Scrappy Do deck. I just think it's a really stupid ass name and it's kind of funny. But I changed some things around. I made it a little bit less. I made it a little bit more consistent. Um, so yeah, we'll just jump right into it. All right. We've got one Gores. Gores, as I've explained in my other decks, is just a lifeline. It helps prevent OTK, all that stuff. We've got two Scrap Golem. Golem is a really good card. In combination with Scrap Goblin, it helps bring out Scrap Dragon. And 2300 beater, so that's pretty good. And then we have the one of the main monsters of the deck, 3 Scrap Chimera. Scrap Chimera is an instant synchro if you have Goblin or Beast in your graveyard. You can play him, and then you can summon a Scrap monster from your graveyard. A non-synchro Scrap monster, to be specific. But, yeah. Then we've got 3 Scrap Beast. This is really, really good with Scrapyard, and I'll explain why I run as many Scrapyards as I do. It's because of this card. When your opponent has no monsters on the field, let's say they have a dead hand, which happens quite often in some decks, but they have a dead hand and they draw a Dark Hole. They have a defense monster on the field, and you have let's say 2 Scrap Dragons and no, let's say you have 3 Scrap Chimeras on the field. Just for an example, that'll probably never happen, but just for an example, you draw Scrapyard next turn. You play Scrapyard, and you get a 1600 beater right away. You play that 1600 damage. I mean, even when you don't draw a monster, if you draw Scrapyard, you're pretty much golden with that. Then we've got Scrap Goblin. Not a lot of people like this card, which is a surprise. When he's face down, he's not destroyed by battle. When he's selected as a face-up defense position monster, that's when he's destroyed at the end of the battle phase. But otherwise, he's not destroyed by battle, so most of the time you're going to set him face down, they'll attack, and he's not destroyed. And you can have him there for the next turn. Helps bring out your Scrap Dragon with Scrap Golem, or with Scrap Chimera, you bring out Scrap Archfiend. And we've got one level leader. You can pretty much level it off of anything. You can level it off of your Golem, get Beast, and Sync for Dragon. And level leader is good Scrap Dragon food, so you summon Dragon and you could ditch that off. And then next turn, if you still have Dragon, you could level eat and then ditch it off again to destroy another card. So it's a really good card. And we've got one guard. It's good, pretty decent defense. 1900 defense. You can bounce a monster most of the time. You're gonna bounce their highest monster, but yeah, he's just a good card. I don't really have much to say about him. He's just good, good in this deck. Good engine for the deck. 2 Spy. I might even run 3. Tell me what you guys think about running 3 Spies in this deck. I would really like to know. But, of course, Spy searches for Spy, and if you're in desperate need, you could search for Guard. But, yeah. And then, 1 Summoner Monk. If you open up with Summoner Monk, you have a whole, shit ton of spells you could ditch off. You can summon your Scrap Beast, and then go for Scrap Dragon, or, Stardust or something, or whatever the hell else. Whatever you want, basically. Excuse me. I used to run 2 of these. I traded 1 off for some much needed cards, but otherwise I would run 2, but for now it's 1. 1 does alright. It's not bad at all. Duality is it's run in a lot of decks now, so yeah, you just there's not much special summoning in this deck anyway. To take the place of the other one, we have Pot of Avarice. Pot of Avarice is good in case your opponent just in case they like somehow shut down your ability to get monsters from the graveyard. You can just put them back in your deck. Draw 2. Then we've got 3 Scrap Storm. This card is broken as hell for this deck. Excuse me, sorry. Most of the time, if they, let's say you set, most of the time I'll set this as a decoy, even if I don't have a scrap monster on the field. I'll set it as a decoy so they can waste their MST or, whatever. But I'll set it. If you draw, let's say Scrap Beast or Scrap Chimera next turn, they try and bottomless. You Scrap Storm your Beast, send Chimera to the graveyard. Then you draw 1, send Beast to the graveyard, get Chimera from your graveyard to your hand. Next turn you have instant synchro. So it's really good. Then 2 Scrapyard. Dub K Dad, he runs 1 because he has 3 dualities, but I only have take up the space of 2. So that's one of the reasons. And the other reason, like I said before, if you have no monsters in your hand and they have no monsters on the field, you just Scrapyard for Scrap Beast, and then get a 1600, deal 1600 damage to your opponent, which is really good. 3 Book of Moon. Book of Moon is also retarded. You can abuse your Spy, abuse your Goblin, abuse your Guard. You can abuse a lot of things. Plus, I hate Trap Stun. It's really stupid. I mean, I run it in a few other decks, but I hate being Trap Stunned with this deck. So, Book really covers the covers that part of it. Covers the end. Then we got 2 MST with Gravekeepers and their Necro Valleys on the field. You wanna just ditch them off like as soon as possible. 1 MST just isn't enough. It's not enough at all. Then we got 1 Cold Wave. I side deck a Heat Wave. Heat Wave does really well, but I main deck Cold Wave usually. Sometimes I'll switch it out depending on what I'm playing against, but Cold Wave does really good for now. Yeah, it's a good ditch off card in case you need to, and it keeps your opponent from bottomlessing and Mirror Force, and just keeps them from doing all that stuff. Then we got 1 Dark Hole. Dark Hole is just Dark Hole. Monster Reborn. Monster Reborn is Monster Reborn. Mind Control. If I Scrapyard for a Scrap Beast or even a Scrap Goblin, I can Mind Control and play my Beast or Goblin, and just you can tune off of anything. So you could tune to make your Scrap Dragon, tune to make your Scrap Archfiend, tune to make whatever you need, basically. Mind Control is really good. The only thing I don't like about it is you can't tribute, but then it would be broken and probably banned by now. Foolish, you can send your level leader to the graveyard so you can, use it as scrap food or level eat so you can do stuff, 2 Bottomless. Bottomless is kind of a staple in a lot of decks. It's just really good. Call, you need that extra power. You need that extra, not really power. You need your extra monsters from the graveyard. It helps speed up the synchro process. Sorry, I'm getting all tongue-tied. But Torrential is very underlooked. It's not really looked at as one of key cards in any deck, but it's really good. Like you can, let's say if it's a mirror match and they summon Scrap Dragon, and they're just gonna ping this off, and just Torrential Mirror Force is just Mirror Force and Divine Wrath. This is my tech card. It's not really a tech card, but this is my special card. I side deck 2 Effect Veilers, but this is the other card that helps me out. Caius is being run a lot in a lot of decks, and Caius is really good. People Caius for game now, which is, it sounds stupid, but it just happens, and I hate it. So I'll usually Divine Wrath and just keep myself from being demolished by Caius. So yeah, that's it for the deck. I'll just show you real quick. These are the synchros. Of course, you probably already know the standard ones. We got 3 Scrap Dragon, 1 Dark End, Stardust, 3 Scrap Archfiend, 1 Gotham's, and Mistworm. Yeah, so those are the main ones, and then I've got my other ones, you know, the basic ones. But, yeah, that'll be it. I'll see you guys next video.